What is up, y'all? Happy whatever day it is. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy walk time, gym time, whenever you're listening to this, drive time, maybe commute. Really excited for this episode. I'm going to be covering a pretty fun challenge and concept and scary thing that maybe you will do alongside me. And if you do, I welcome it. I would love to have you in this challenge with me, but we're going to talk about the dopamine detox. Okay. What is the dopamine detox? Well, in my opinion, it is the way to unlock your highest level of productivity and self care. Okay. So this is going to be for you if you feel constantly like ADHD, but you don't actually have a diagnosis. You just feel really ADHD and you feel really overstimulated all the time. You're brain fogged all the time. The smallest decisions feel really, really hard to make, and you get stuck in maybe like taking some steps towards your goals, but like after a couple of days, you're just exhausted and the momentum gets killed. Okay. And so if you are feeling that way and it's really keeping you stuck in any of your goals, fitness, health, productivity, and you want to feel clear energy from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you want to feel productive, like you're actually doing something at your desk in your life. If you maybe even you're dreaming of the fact that you could wake up before your alarm clock rather than snoozing it 5 or 6 times, or you want to maybe just not be beating down on yourself because you don't keep the promises that you make to yourself or because you're so unproductive, this is for you. Okay. And the problem in this situation, I think a lot of times we just blame ourselves. Like, I don't have enough discipline. I don't have enough willpower. And honestly, I really reject that thought. And if you've been following me for any length of time, I'm sure you know that. But I truly don't believe that. And I think a lot of it has to do with our environment. And our environment is not setting us up to succeed or to be productive, right? So here's a hard truth. If you think you have adult ADHD, but you don't have a diagnosis, you don't have medications from your doctor, it's probably time to look in the mirror and look at our environment and all of the things that are influencing our attention span, right? And so that is what we're going to be doing. That is what the dopamine detox is we're going to get away from the need for constant dopamine hit, dopamine hit, dopamine hit. We're going to spend real time in our thoughts, as scary as that is, and we are going to grow inside and out. So what is a dopamine detox? So this is not mine. This is from a mentor who challenges all of her students to do this for the first 30 days in her program. And God, was I terrified and taken aback when I saw that this was part of it. But I was like, okay, well, I'm paying for it, so I guess I have to. So what the dopamine detox is number one, no caffeine. I know. Number two, no TV. Number three, no scrolling. Number four, no phone for the first 30 and last 30 minutes of the day. 10,000 steps per day, sunlight daily, and then sticking with whatever your diet is. And this is for 30 days. And in my case, if I mess up, I start over. So I am really aiming for being perfect on this because I want my espressos back. But you can drink decaf, of course, because I could not live without the taste of coffee. But the idea here is to get our brain to stop being so dependent on the next dopamine hit, to stop being so distracted. And when I tell you that the amount of resistance that I had to this at the same time as really recognizing that I had been looking for something like this, doing something like this for a very long time, and I had never committed, there was a lot of inner conflict going on. But had a conversation with my husband, set it all up so that I would not be tempted to get on the TV in the evenings. And I am 5 days in now. As you are listening to this, I might be more like 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, but I'm feeling amazing. My energy is more steady than it's ever been. I truly feel like steady. I don't feel burnt out. My eyes don't feel glazed over after 2 hours of work. And I truly attribute that to the removal of noise, right? And learning to be bored. There's actually a little test that you can do. I think it was in research of like, if you just sit in front of a wall for an hour doing nothing, Like some people will literally, it will be like such a hard experience that they'll like break down crying or like kind of go psycho. And some people will get through it fine. But I think it tells a lot about like the state of humanity is like sitting in front of a wall for an hour doing nothing sounds like the most cruel form of punishment because we can't numb ourselves. And so I want to share with you a couple of things that I've learned from doing this. And then if you want to do this, send me a message. Let me know. I would love to hold you accountable. I don't have like a tracker. I don't have prizes for this. Like this is purely for the sake of your growth. But I think if you do it, you will definitely thank yourself. So what I've really learned through this is number one, that this is really just about self-leadership and the highest level of self-discipline and care in the context that I'm doing it in for a business mentorship to move myself, my business forward. It's about self-leadership. It's about walking the walk. And this really opened up realizing like there is so much that was just in my comfort zone that I was not changing because I didn't know that it could or should be changed. And just the idea of like just 30 days, just try it, just do it, really opened me up to realize like, wow, there is so much time that I have. There's so much bandwidth that that is being taken away from my headspace. There is so much just distraction around us. And also the no caffeine thing, how dependent my body is on caffeine. So number one, I broke a lot of old beliefs. So number one, the belief would be, I didn't think that I could wake up feeling well rested. And I thought it was just the hormonal thing that'll gradually get better with time as long as I take my supplements. But I'm telling you, 2 days after I stopped having caffeine, I started waking up before my alarm and with energy, like ready to get out of bed with energy. And that has not happened, let me tell you, for years. Years. And I only have 2 shots of espresso a day. That's it. First thing in the morning, 2 shots of espresso after breakfast. Like I follow all the other rules, but I was still so dependent on caffeine for energy. And that's because if you didn't know, right, caffeine blocks our adenosine receptors. And so it does train the body to not block those receptors itself. I also broke the old belief that I could go without TV in the evening. As silly as that sounds, I was so attached to it. Something else that I learned was that it was actually a coping mechanism. As much as I do love the shows that I watch, it was a numbing mechanism for me to avoid living in my own reality. And so we would watch 1, 2, 3 episodes of a show per night, and I would look forward to it so much. And I just remember the first night of the dopamine detox, I kept thinking to myself and catching myself thinking, I can't wait to just sit in front of the TV and, oh, wait. I kept looking forward to it throughout the day. And I was like, wow, I'm really looking forward to escaping out of my own reality. I need to fix what's in front of me. Right. So that was huge. Lots of old beliefs around. And then lastly, I think just realizing how much room I had for self-leadership, like to exercise this level of restriction or discipline to show myself that I can do more than I thought, that I have more space than I thought, really, really opened my eyes. And also realized that the body is so capable of healing. I mean, it was really just, pretty bad mood swings the first 48 hours of no caffeine. But after that, like, just incredible energy. And so the body is so capable of healing if you remove a lot of the things that are really getting in the way. And I think it's just a reminder too of like how much screen time can truly drain us. And I think it's important to remember that. Get a book in front of our eyes, get the sun in front of our eyes, go outside a little bit. Because if we don't, we're literally just robots, zombies, numbing ourselves from our real lives and not experiencing it. And so if you feel like you're just not connected to yourself, you're not feeling like you're making progress in anything right now, I would highly recommend giving this a go and being 100% with it, like really pushing yourself to do all 30 days and do it to the best of your ability. And heck, you can even apply the rule. If if you don't go a full 30 days and you mess up, start over. Why not? It's only going to benefit you the longer that you do it. And if you can complete a full 30 days, in full, then you're going to feel that much better and more confident in yourself. And you're going to have such a higher level of self-trust. So just a bit of a contrarian take today, but I hope that this gave you a new perspective, gave you something to think about. Again, dopamine detox is no TV, no scrolling, no phone for the first and last 30 minutes of each day, no caffeine, no alcohol, 10,000 steps, and sunlight daily. If you do that, you are going to feel so much more in touch with yourself. Okay. So that's it for me today. I would love to answer your questions. You can feel free to send me a message on Instagram if you're interested to know more about how it's going as I'm going through it. And just, again, let me know if you're going to do this. I really want to hold you accountable. I want to know who's listening. I want to support you. So send me a message, and I can't wait to see who this is able to impact. All right. See you guys back here for the next episode.